So fantastic. I'm joined today by Jacqui from Jacqui O. So Jacqui, tell us all about your business and what do you do?
Hi, I help soon to be wedded couples have beautiful flowers for their wedding day. It's to capture their personality and the uniqueness of them into their day. Because it's very easy with flowers to just go by trends, but I want to capture the joy and get them to have the most amazing time with their experience of their flowers, and have a lifetime of memories to treasure.
Yeah, it's all good. You're back in the throes of it, yeah?
Yeah, it's been interesting because even while I've been on holiday, I've still been getting in wedding inquiries, which has been fabulous. So I've had, since I started the course with you, I've had 8 people book with me.
Wow.
So I've got an 80% obviously increase from speaking to you. So I looked at, I've actually got the same number of weddings next year as what I've already got this year.
My goodness. My goodness.
Which is just phenomenal.
So you're just not some ordinary florist now, are you? I mean, this is floral design at its best, Jacqui. I mean, I think you're underplaying it a little bit here.
Well, yeah, I suppose I am really. It's really important to me because I've got a background in design. I trained as a fabric designer, and I'm really passionate about designing bespoke products that are just so unique to everybody and their personality. And my clients come to me because they want something that little bit special, that little bit different, that's truly rememberable, and that they will take with them forever through the journey. So when they look at the photographs, they're just mesmerised. And it's like a bride came to me yesterday and said, "You've got me excited again now about my wedding." So it's the whole experience. Although I'm doing flowers, they just build that relationship of trust with me, to know that on the day I will deliver whatever they need to do. And they laugh at me, but I'm not scared to move things round. I'll tell a venue if something's not quite right, or I'll get rid of a dirty napkin. The things that make, the little touches that make a difference. So yeah, they might not be quite flower related, but my service of overall is so important because I want them to have a great day. We have one day to get it right, and that is it. So it's got to be perfect for them.
Superb. And so you needed a perfect brand. You needed a perfect business to go with this perfect service that you provide. And so tell us, Jacqui, I mean, before you found my program and started working with us, what was your business like? I mean, it was great, but what was your business actually like? What were you struggling with?
It's quite interesting, really, because I have quite a big following of other florists, and from the outside in, it looked like I'd got this beautiful designed business that was just amazing and really performing. But financially, I was like a duck paddling underneath. So it looked beautiful from the outside, but actually underneath, I was just going, "Oh my God, how am I going to find enough money to do this week? How can I pay for that? I really need that client to pay me like now so that I can get stuff and work on the next piece of the project or something that I was doing." And it was growing and it was really successful, and I've self-funded. I've never had a loan. I've not had a business loan. I've done everything myself. I worked from a career that I'd built up for many years, working for John Lewis, and I'd built that up. And I wanted to use that as my foundation of all the things I believed in. But what happens is, along the way, when you become self-employed and an entrepreneur, people start giving you lots of advice, and your families chip in, your friends chip in, and they're going, "Why aren't you doing this?" So I started doing lots of things that I probably didn't really want to do. So people started saying, "Why aren't you doing gift bouquets? You'd make money doing that. Why aren't you doing funerals? You could do that." So I started doing lots of different things, and my focus started going away from the weddings a little bit. And I was probably losing money by doing the gift bouquets, because if you've got a shop, it's great because you've just got lots of variety, you've got lots of things to show somebody. But I was just having to order in, and then I'd have leftovers, and those leftovers would sit there till the next person rang, and half the time they went in the bin because my standards are so high. So what I realised was that was just money constantly, and sitting there. And I worked with my accountant a bit, and she changed my mindset of, that is money sitting, that flower is money. And people were getting extra things for free all the time, because it was just like, well, there's no point, I'm not going to use it, I'll just keep it. I'll put it in the wedding bouquet, they might as well have it, because what am I going to do with it after? So it was successful from the outside. I had quite a good PR piece of people were interested in me, and my business was starting to grow. So I'd grown it gradually over the 5 years. But last year wasn't as successful, and I didn't understand why, because I'd done everything exactly the same. I'd done my wedding fairs, I'd got word of mouth going on, I was getting repeat customers for some of my work, but I just couldn't understand why I wasn't making the money I deserved, and why it wasn't growing. And I'm really determined, and I knew something wasn't right. And I'd approached a few other people to ask for advice, friends in the industry that were doing really well, maybe not in floristry, but in the wedding industry. And they gave me tips and things that they were doing. And they just kept saying to me, we don't understand why you're not doing well. And it was actually when I came across your video one night. I was sitting really relaxed, just having my hot chocolate in an evening, just scanning down Facebook. And you popped up, and I just happened to read it. Something drew me into your ad, and I just read it, and then I just signed straight away up to the video, and I watched it that night, and I just sat there and thought, this person understands me. This person gets where I resonated with you. It's just like, it was almost like you were in my head straight away. And then I had my free 60-minute conversation with you. And that was a changing point for me. It was being very brave to take a big leap of faith to actually put some money and invest it. I was always willing to invest it on going on a design course, because that's the passion I had, but actually investing on the bits that I probably needed to do more. I'd done a couple of those courses, but actually what I got out of them, they were mainly ebook courses. They didn't really teach me anything I didn't know. So I didn't really feel like I'd gained anything extra. But as soon as I got in the course, it was just like a completely different experience. My business was just, I could see the difference in myself, mainly mindset, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite dramatic for you in terms of the first few weeks of the program, when I very quickly identified, and mindset work, people bandish, mindsets and everything, but actually it's so critical for business owners. And that is why we incorporate this into our business program, because you can get the best infrastructure that you want in the world, but if you've got the stinky thinking or stuff that's blocking you in growth and expansion, then that's just going to scupper everything. So we do pay attention to this. And it was one of the things, it was like, actually, Jacqui, and we recommended a few resources for you that we do in the program. And I can remember speaking to you, Jacqui, and you were just like, yeah, well, before the maximum I would have charged for a bride was this. And then you told me the figure, which was several £1,000s more. And you were like, yeah, okay, I've just gone in there, I know I've been undercharging that. And all of a sudden, the Jacqui O that we see now, it would just started to bloom and kind of like step up her game. And it was just like, okay, we're going to rock here. So it's fantastic. So tell us about the program. What did you get most out of the program in terms of, your business?
I think initially it was like you say, the mindset piece. So for me, I think I've always lacked confidence, but everyone thinks because I'm quite an extrovert that I'm a confident person. But it's like this mask and shield that goes off, and I'm like, yeah, I'm confident. I know what I'm doing. And people always look to me, and I'm very good at helping other people because of my type of persona. I sort of know what's wrong with everything else, and I can analyse it. And that was what I was great at in my previous job. I was always known as the person, if you need an answer, go to Jacqui. Jacqui will know it. And I think what I'd forgotten was, with working on my own and not having someone challenging me and not challenging myself like I used to, I'd lost that confidence. So the mindset work of like doing the hypnosis and thinking that actually I am enough, I know what I'm doing, and to be confident. Because I think when I now look at other successful florists, it's funny because I see that mindset in them. They don't really care what the next person's thinking. They just care about their business and that focus. And that's what I'd had originally, but I think because everyone had given me so much input, I'd lost that. So the program had sort of reinvigorated that confidence and that belief in myself. Do you know what? I want to just focus on weddings. That's what I'm passionate about. Why have I started doing all these other things?
Yeah.
It made me look at the things I loved. So I thought, actually, do you know what? I love Christmas, so I'll keep Christmas because I always have done and I'll always love it. So, you know, it's important to me because of my family. So I've kept that element of it. But the biggest change for me was my brand persona, because it made me giggle because actually after I completed it, that's why people used to come to me, because I knew the brand that I was working for previously inside out. So if someone would say to me, should we do this? I go, oh, no, our brand wouldn't do that. I was always a person, whatever level, from management higher than me to people below me, everyone come and ask me what I thought. And that's what I realised. It's so funny. Since I've developed my brand of Audrey, that's what we call my brand persona.
Brand of Audrey. Yep.
Audrey is fantastic because I just found myself going, would Audrey go to that fair?
Yeah.
No. So I talked myself in, I've got to do that fair because I need to bring money in. But I was bringing the wrong sort of money in. I wasn't bringing my ideal client in at all. But now I stand there and go, no, I'm not doing that. Why am I doing that? What a waste of my time. I could have that weekend as a day off and enjoy myself and get some downtime, or I can have it to really focus and drive my business on the elements that I need to do. And then when we did my customer personas, that was just so enlightening because I thought I really knew my customer, but actually what I discovered was I didn't, and you pushed me. So when I sent it to you and you threw it back at me and said, no, it's not quite right, it was the best thing you could have done because I love being challenged like that. And you actually got me thinking much deeper. My persona types now, my customer personas are so strong that it's great because when I'm advertising, when I'm using my words, I've got set words, I developed like this whole phrases of words that I knew my clients liked, and if my clients use certain words and I like them, I actually save them now, so that I continue to use them in my Facebook ads and everything like that. So it's building for me in a sense of I've got this whole image now. I can clearly see what my customers look like, and it's made a massive difference. And what I soon realised was that although my website had been done beautifully by my previous designer, I just handed it all over. I hadn't really given them clear guidelines, clear instructions of what my customer was like.
Yeah.
And because I hadn't known it truly myself, I'd almost handed it over and go, there you go, you do it, you deliver it. And I think
the abdication thing, isn't it?
Definitely. Totally, definitely abdicated it. And I just hadn't really looked at what my clients liked. And it's really strange because when I started working with yourself and Kath on my website, the biggest thing that I found was it was actually how I'd originally wanted it. But because I didn't know that that's how my customer was, and I wasn't probably strong enough at that point to say, do you know what, that's what I want, that's how I want it, I probably let everybody else take control of it. I got someone else to write it for me. So I took the bull by the horns. It was a very big decision. And I learnt how to do my own website. I did all the copy myself with the support of the program. I always was nervous because I'm slightly dyslexic about writing. But you know what? I've written my whole website and I'm so made up with it. It's the best it's been. It appeals to my customer. I'm not thinking about what do I think it should say. I'm now thinking, what do my customers want it to say? I've actually reduced the writing on there because actually my customers aren't interested. They want to look at the photos. They want to look at the pics. What's the bouquet going to look like? What are the flowers that are going to be included in? And they just want to be inspired and supported along that journey. Because I think as well in the wedding industry, when you've never been married before, you don't know what you want. You don't even know how much flowers cost. It's quite funny, you know, people say to you, how much do you want to spend? Well, how do they know what they want to spend? Because they've never done it before. They don't even know what flowers cost. They go to a supermarket and see a bunch of flowers and, you know, it's not the same.
No, it isn't. I mean, the personas the persona work that we do is, well, it's world leading because it's not in existence out there. We use a mix of psychographics. We tap into a little spiritual stuff going on, energetic things. We throw in a lot of neurosciences into this. And, for people who kind of like think about, oh, I hear it all the time, Jacqui. I know my customers. Of course I know my customers. And then we do the persona exercise and they go, oh my goodness, I really didn't know my customers. And because that is the foundation of your entire business, because knowing your customers and what they want and what they aspire to and what their dreams are and what their hells are at such a deep emotional level, as you said, you can speak their language. You can actually get visual interpretation on that. It was so easy for you to actually represent that then in your website, because immediately when you worked with Kath, I know it was a case of, no, that style's out. Let's go for this style because that fits in with what my customers really like, And so it's about you becoming stronger, isn't it, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. So you actually feel, I noticed that a big difference with you, Jacqui, that kind of confidence in you has grown so much.
It's so funny because when I wanted to have I've just designed my first video, and I've put a logo on the back of the video, which I wanted it to be animated. So I went to Fiverr, which you recommended, and they were fantastic. The guy I spoke to, I probably paid a little bit more than some of the other people on there, but I liked his works instantly, and I thought, you know what, he resonates with my customers. And it was really interesting because I told him which companies that I liked, what style I wanted, and he sent it me, and then he sent it with me with some music, and I went, I don't want the music.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'd never have said that. I would have just gone, oh yeah, thanks, and gone, oh, it's not what I wanted, but never mind, it'll do. And I sent it to him, and I sent a message back saying, yeah, it's not quite right, it's not quite what I envisioned. And he's like, okay, well, I can do it again. And he redid it and didn't charge me any extra. But what was great about him was he then sent it me in different formats, because he obviously knew I was going to be particular. So he's done it so that I can actually have an animated logo on my photographs if I want to. Not that I've used it yet, because I don't think that suits my brand. I like it clean without the logos on. But he added elements that I got within the package, but I never had the confidence. I would never have said before, actually, do you know what, I don't like that and I don't want it. But if you spoke to people personally, in my personal life, I'm very much like that. But actually, when it came to my business, I didn't have the confidence to go, I don't want that. I'm not doing it like that.
Yeah, so that changed. And I know that some of the suppliers that you were working with and actually noticed a change in you as well. I can remember you saying that one of the women had said, oh my goodness, what's happened? You've changed. Yeah. Can you remember that?
Yeah, that was quite interesting actually, because it was actually my web designer who, obviously I've designed my own now, but we'd been working together for quite a number of years, and she's been great support, and I still keep in touch with her. But the biggest thing she said to me was, I feel like I'm talking to a different person on the phone, because I was like, no, I don't want that. I want it like this.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. I don't, in general, with a lot of companies, I'm getting comments about, oh my God, your website's amazing. Who did you get to do it? And I'm like, I did it myself.
Yeah.
And that's what's lovely. I've had clients come and say to me, I really like your website. And I'm just smiling because I think to myself, and don't get me wrong, I had to put so many hours in. It was really hard work. There was times when I thought, I just don't know how to do this bit. I've taught myself SEO. I never really understood it, but with the support of the program. And the other thing that I love is in the group, there's a few of us that we joined at the same time. We've become really great friends. And it's like that little Facebook message to each other going, help, or are you okay? And I love that. I love the video group when you get we go into the Facebook group and we go to our question and answer sessions. Yeah. For me, they're the best. Even if I can't make it on the time, I love the replay, because I sat and watched one this morning because I'd missed one, and I just resonated with it. I just thought, and sometimes it's those reminders of like, actually, I haven't quite been doing it. I need to do a little bit more of thanking myself and being grateful for the stuff that's around me. Or it could be, oh, that's a really good idea. Why hadn't I thought of that? And I have it as my business thoughts now. So I have a piece of paper that I write all my ideas down that I haven't got time to do right now. And they're not appropriate to do right now in my business, but I've got so many ideas going forward. I'm really excited about the future of my business, the bookings I've had. So
yeah, I was going to say, let's just talk about the results, because your results have been astounding, Jacqui. 12 weeks within the program. What's happened to your business in terms of this money? Because this is what you came into the program for. You wanted this as an outcome. So
yeah, definitely. So the most amazing thing is I put my Facebook and I put my website live. I didn't even advertise it. I didn't advertise it anywhere. I just wanted to sort of like thought, I'll just do a week of it, finding my feet with it, just check as people are coming in. Oh my goodness. Within 3 days, I'd had 5 inquiries, which was just unheard of. I'm now getting consistent inquiries every week. The budgets of my brides have doubled, so I'm getting much nicer weddings to work on, which is just fantastic. I've got my market had been shrinking, so I've been getting closer to home all the time.
And that's geographically, isn't it?
Yeah,
we just so everybody knows, it wasn't just a website. I mean, obviously the website is amazing and all of that coming together, it's powerful. But then it was looking at new ways of expanding your market so that you didn't that kind of constriction and restriction into a local geographical market. It was actually, Jacqui, you can go across the UK, honey. You know, it's like, come on, let's go for it. And it was putting in the systems, and so a kind of a booking system. You could do remote kind of consultations with brides. So how's that gone?
That's gone amazing. So I actually couldn't believe it. So I've got a friend who's a supplier in the wedding industry, and she was always adamant if she got married, I would do her flowers. And we're actually really good friends. So I said to her, oh, come round and have a coffee with me, and we can just go through and do your consultation for your flowers. And then I said, and we were just chatting. I said, oh, I'm also doing a video conference. She said, oh, I'd rather do the video one. And I was like, oh, okay. So I would say half of my consultations are now online video calls. It's fantastic. I can share my screen with clients and they can have a look at it. It's been amazing because I get quite a lot of clients down from London, and it saves them having to come up to me or me go down to them. They really loved it. I think I've got 4 booked in the next 2 weeks for video conferences, which has been fantastic. And because you can see the interaction face to face, that's what I loved about that element that you've introduced to me, which I hadn't done before. Sometimes I'd do them on the phone, but you lose, you can't really see people's reactions, where sometimes I think, oh, they don't really like that, I'll maybe show them something else. Or because obviously people sometimes don't want to offend you because they're still getting to know you and you're building that relationship piece up. But I found with the Zoom piece, you can really develop that. My schedule in my diary and everything, it's the automation that's coming into my life has just made my life so much easier, where I probably spend 4 or 5 emails going back and to, I'm free on this date, oh, I can't do this date, can you do this date? Now it's just like, if you'd like to go to this page and book yourself on my diary, you can just pick a time that suits you.
And so from a time management point of view, we've really helped you to grow your business. So tell us about the figures of the growth, because it was, you managed a figure about 80% or something you said to me earlier.
Yeah, so in the 12 weeks, I've got 10 weddings booked in for next year already, but I had an 8 more weddings booked in since I've started the course, and that's been through the change of my confidence.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're lighting.
Can I just do it? I'll start that bit again so you can feel. I'm conscious. That's better.
Oh, that's better. I can actually see you.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I could see I was getting dark and I couldn't concentrate.
Oh, that's fine. Lovely. We can actually see you now, Jacqui, which is fab. So yeah, you went to the different venues. So tell us.
Yeah. So basically, when the clients when the prospect clients were coming to me, they were at the wedding fairs. They were saying to me, oh, I haven't got a venue yet. And other suppliers were going, oh, I can't be bothered with them. But I took a slightly different approach. And my approach was, well, Oh, it's great that you're getting married. I suppose you've been asked all the same questions by all the suppliers you've walked around. When are you getting married? And where are you getting married? And I said, have you got a date yet? And they said, no, not yet. We're just trying to find a venue that suits us. And then we can look, we've got a date that we'd like. And I go, oh, right. So my top tips are, when you're going around a wedding fair, is take a pen, mark a little star on the business cards of the people you like. And don't just look at, is their work great, or does it taste good, or get a feel of what they're going to be like to work with, because the relationship's just as important. And they go, oh, I haven't got a pen. Well, you can have a good pocket and a bad pocket. So one's your good pocket, the other one's your bad pocket. And then when you get home, you can, all the ones that you like, you keep hold of, and all the ones you don't like, you can just put in the bin. Because all that'll happen is, otherwise you'll go home with a sea of cards. You won't know you can't remember who you spoke to, who you liked, and you'll just end up binning them. And they're like, that's a really good idea. Does that mean you have to go in the good pocket? And I was like, well, that would be great if I do. And some of them have even like starred my card next to me, in front of me. Have you got a pen? And I hand them the pen and they star me. And those clients are coming to me. And I had one this week that just came to me, and I was just like, and that was just me helping. I wasn't doing it for that reason. I just think it's a nice thing to do, to support people who've never got married before, to help them.
Because you're actually stepping up as an advocate, as I've said before. I mean, that's what we teach people in the program, is to be an advocate for your customers, not to. Nobody wants that slimy kind of sleazy sell thing, which reeks of desperation as well, because we all know that, you know, we can all sense that in someone. And the other thing that I teach, which you picked up on really, really well, is in your industry, Jacqui, it's highly competitive. I know this because I ran a couple of florists as well, so I understand the industry, and it's all about actually standing very firm in your own kind of values and beliefs about your business, and actually taking a few chances, calculated risks that go against what everybody else is doing. And I like it to the salmon analogy, where all the fish are kind of coming this way, and then the big salmon is kind of like going upstream. And that is the most powerful businesses on the planet. If you can do that, and you have the confidence to do that in your marketing and positioning of your business, then hey, you're going to strike gold. And that's exactly what you've done, Jacqui, because your business now is far stronger than it was when we first met. Your confidence levels have gone up, what, 100% around?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you've changed you've actually physically changed. Your hair color has changed. Yeah. You know,
I've become my brand persona.
Brand, yeah. And
it's like, where before I'd be like, I would have made the flowers for the wedding fair and then think, oh, I've got to get ready now. But I'm not doing it today. But normally I'd put my makeup on, I'd make sure my hair was right. It would just suit the clients that I'm trying to appeal to.
Yeah.
It's that, because I am my brand and I have to represent my brand when I go out there. So my persona has changed, and a few people have commented. Yeah. I'm like, oh, you've changed.
You've changed.
Well, yeah. And I'm going, I'm just being my brand. And they sort of look at me as if I'm completely crazy. But the ones that get it, it's really interesting because their businesses are really successful.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's no underestimate when we talk about sort of we change businesses and change lives. We're actually that physical manifestation of what we're actually doing, isn't it, Jacqui? So
definitely. And my husband's comment is, I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you did this course because I can see such a massive difference.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted to have a difference in my life, my personal life as well, because I felt like I was constantly working. Where now I don't feel guilty when I go and walk the dog for a few hours, because actually that is my downtime, and it helps me think. That's when I have my sparks of, oh, why didn't I do this? Or, oh, I could do that. That would be great. And my family's very important to me, and I was always busy, when now it's like, oh, do you know what? I'll have today off and go have a meal, because I'll just work a bit harder tomorrow on my business. Or I got into that routine of I have to work all the time. So a balancing act as well.
Yeah, so we've helped you create a business now which not only is making you the money that you deserve, your self-worth has gone up, your business worth has gone up, you're commanding much higher prices, you're getting far more bookings. We've also helped you automate your business so that you're actually being able to go, do you know what, I'm going to take a couple of hours off here, or I'm going to take the day off, because it's fine, I don't have to sweat it. I've got a business that's kind of automated, you know your clients perfectly. The dramatic change, Jacqui, in you and your business have been quite profound and so beautiful to watch. And you know, I really thank you for really stepping up with grit and determination, and that kind of decisiveness of saying, right, come on, we're going to go for it. And yeah, you know, and also being allowed to be slightly challenged, because yeah, I'm, you know, people who get to know me, it's like, hang on, I say it as it is, because we can't waste time here. We're talking about your business and your life. And so, yeah, to actually say, look, you know, that's not quite it. And I know, as you said, with the personas, that was one of the things we did. It was like, no, we haven't, no, this isn't right. It doesn't kind of, and then when you got it, it was like, boo. And then, wow, everything started to shift and move and whatever. We got all the processes in place, all the marketing, and you haven't even started the funnels that we teach as well. I mean, you're still in the process of building the funnels to get even more work out there into the
and that I'm really excited. I think that's the thing, that I've got my video ready to go. I've got my advert ready. I just it needs a check over just to make sure. I just need to check it and I'll be happy with it. But yeah, I'm really excited. I just feel that I know which direction I want to go, where before I almost was like, oh, well, I had my business every year in January. I did like a business review, but it was like not really stepping outside and looking at the customer. And I think now I stand out, I look at the customer and think, actually, what do I need to make it easier for my customer? How can I develop it further? And I think I probably have challenged myself a lot more. My list is more challenging. I'm stepping outside my comfort zone, which is what I would have done in my corporate world in my previous jobs. But I think I probably got complacent at home, just going, oh, well, I'll just do this. And it was almost like a hobby type business. And I'd sort of been, I feel like playing at it, but badly, because I think when you start a business, I think it's very hard to get the support, the right type of support. And in a way, I wish I'd met you like 2 years ago, 3 years ago in my business. So although it has grown organically for 5 years and it had started to improve, the difference in 12 weeks, I just cannot tell anyone. So if they're sitting on the fence thinking, shall I spend that money? Shall I not? Is it worth it? I've got to say to you, it's like so worth it. It's the best thing I ever did. I fully understand my customers now. You know, my customers' experience, although it was great before, it's even better now. You know, they don't have to come to my house. They can do the online bookings. Everything's automated to save me time, like you said, and it's just a complete pleasure. I love working with my business. I love looking at the next thing that I'm going to do. So my sales funnel, like you were talking about, I can't wait to get all that in place. So in January, when all the people have got engaged and it's like wedding prospects again, I'm loving that. And you know, I've got the people that are coming to me are my completely ideal clients. It's so funny. I've got like a real public sector that follow me, and they're teachers, they're police, and that's all been built into my customer personas, interior designers, and things that I never even thought even things I don't like, but I love Love Island, and I can't stand it myself, but my customers love it.
And you got to do what you got to do what your customers love.
I know.
Hey, that's what puts them. You know, that's what. That's who you're targeting.
Yeah, so that, you know, I totally get them, and I love it, and you know, and when I'm having that moment of, oh, I'm not sure, I just go and read my brand values that I've never had.
Yeah.
So in the program, I've developed a whole brand value. I never had that before. I didn't know what I wanted to do as a brand. I didn't know what my customers would want. And I've been really inspired, and really, I'm just so enthusiastic. I'm so grateful. I can't tell you how grateful I am.
Thank you.
It's made such a difference to my life, my business. I just feel like a new person. I feel like it's funny. It's like when you first decide that you're going to be a florist, and you go and do that course, and you're nervous and excited all at the same time, and you're like, you want to go out there and do it. And I think what happens is, when you've been in business a little while, you start getting a bit complacent, and I think that was the place I was at. Although I didn't think I was, now I definitely know I was.
Yeah. Well, as I say, it's been an absolute pleasure and delight to work with you, Jacqui. You know, this is why I do what I do, is because I just honestly love seeing these transformations and businesses not just surviving but thriving, and the business owners thriving, because as female entrepreneurs, that's what we should be having fun. We should be enjoying our businesses. We should be getting our worth for what we're offering, and having the support systems to make that happen. So adapting our businesses around our lives and our lifestyles and what we actually want. I mean, that's how it should be. So it's just so beautiful to have watched your journey, Jacqui, and I'm so privileged and honoured to have been part of that. So thank you. And yeah, and I know that this is just the beginning for you, Jacqui. 2019, I'm just so excited to actually watch now your progress in 2019 and beyond, because yeah, I mean, you have now everything you need to take this business and yourself forward on a much higher level. So well done you, congratulations, and thank you.
No, thank you.